Hey everyone, welcome back to more Star Dynasties. I'm DisturbingPuppet. We're continuing here with the Scrooge Sovereignty and our leader, Archon Ebenezer Scrooge, who is me, apparently. Alright, so we've had a lot of breakup over here and haven't really been able to exploit it yet. I am kind of hoping that eventually we'll be able to kind of convince these broken up factions to join us voluntarily. I do have room for more vassals. We're only at 8 out of 14. We've got space for our family. I think we're at 22 out of 28. We have a decent number of kids. Everybody's busy at the moment doing stuff. I am worried at the moment, so my stats are a little bit down, so things are a little bit affected. But, we're very diplomatic, very good administrators, super good tech, mainly because of my daughter, Kumi here, who's got a 99 all by herself. Some other events and things going on. And then, of course, my individual stats, because I've been in charge for a long time, looking quite good. I haven't really been doing a lot to improve my stats. When I've had people free, I've tried to be improving my heirs' stats because I am getting a bit older. And in this game, once you get into your even 50s, definitely 60s, you're liable to just drop dead at any moment. And I am sickly, so I do have that chance of dropping dead a little bit easier. But we've got high tech, which kind of offsets that a bit. So that sort of dictates your health issues and stuff. So, the Tanner Coalition's broken apart. I would like to just get them to voluntarily join. They have not been receptive so far. The Aralanos also would be nice to get in, especially since they grabbed Sheraton here. I was hoping I could take Sheraton, and then that would put more pressure on the Tanners to join us, but that just hasn't worked out. We do have a bit of a weak position in Arcab, but I don't think they're at war with anybody. Um, yeah, I don't see any indication that they're part of the Galloways, and the Galloways don't seem to be at war with anyone. So that should be fine, I think. I am trying to work on the unrest there as well. So we do have people scattered doing unrest operations, different places. So we're doing -7 there per turn. I do have some marriages and things we could arrange, but I'm not too sure I want to do anything. My niece, bit older, so she is free to marry. She's busy. I don't want her. If I marry someone, I don't want anyone to leave the family at this point. But if somebody who's younger is not so good, then maybe. So we've got Mitch here who joined the family. He's not actually part of the family originally. He married in, and then his wife died. Don't really want him to leave either. He's worried. His stats are looking pretty crappy at the moment. I think he's sick. Yeah, he's sick. We are working on his health, so we do have somebody working on that. So then we have Zoe, who just came of age at 16. Stats are decent across the board, not fantastic. Frederick, who is my grandson, also mediocre, better in military. That's about it for who we have marriages we could possibly arrange for. So not super interested in doing anything with that at the moment. People will occasionally, if you have unmarried people, like come to you and be like, "Hey, we want to marry this person," and be like, "I don't think it's a good fit," and then they get angry at you. So that is kind of a negative to having people who aren't married, but that's about it. Now, I'm hoping, and I keep saying this, that my vassals can fight other people's vassals. They can just do that if they want to. And the farmers over here have claims on Aludra and Beta Tarai. They could fight them. I don't have to get involved. Now, I could formally say I back their claim for it. That would mean that the Clark clan, who are the overall controllers of all of this, then have to agree to give me that, or I'm saying we're going to go to war over those claims that they have. Or I could just let my vassal take advantage themselves if they get strong enough. I don't know that they're strong enough, but like that kind of thing can happen. And we've kind of seen the Galway Alliance sort of absorbing other people here as well. So we'll kind of see what happens as things progress. I don't think there's anything else I want to do here. We did kind of set everything up before I finished up the last one. It has been a few weeks since I played this. I kind of remember what was going on. Hopefully everything will be fine. Yeah, I do have some blackmail on people. I don't think we want to do any blackmail. I do have a neural implant that I could install on somebody to get higher military, losing some social stats. Eh. I've got some laser rifles I can hand out. I think I'm going to wait until I pass on in multiple ways. So I pass on and my heir takes over to then maybe hand out some guns to people who might be useful or on our council. And then I can also use this drug to take control of somebody else if they're visiting. I don't know that I want to do that. I feel like that's kind of a really awful thing to do, but whatever. So yeah, short term, I would like to potentially get these guys to come in, but because of the Starlane connections, we do have issues with that as well. So I think I have to get the Tanners on side to even try to get the Arlanos on side. Let me just take a look and see if I even can as an action. I can request. She'll say no. So actually, I currently can, but I can't go for submission because they don't border us. But I can request or demand her vassalage. She would say no, kind of no matter what. If we get enough money, that could change. Same thing here with the Tanners. They do have the same ruler that we're on pretty good relations with. Been around for quite a while. So we can request. She might accept if I threaten her at this point because we're probably quite a bit stronger than her. But it's not always a great way to get somebody into the faction, but I might have to do that eventually, or at least give it a shot. But if I do that, she might just declare war on us, and that would be the end of things with our good relations. So we'll see what happens. I would like them to potentially agree to join voluntarily, but we'll kind of see what happens. We are working our way towards another event up here, our bloodline. So we did just recently max out the merchants and administrators, so now I have the renowned markets done. So every turn there's a chance that intergalactic markets just pop up on systems that I control, which increases the wealth of that system and everything connected to it for 6-star lanes. And I think we already got one on Crux. I think. Yeah, we've got an intergalactic marketplace right there, so we're helping everybody else out. But anything that I directly control, it's more likely to show up. It could show up under anything under our territory, but we only really directly control the Crux. And then I have everyone else's vassals. I'm assuming they would be more likely than secondary vassals, like something within the Galloways or the Farmers. But we've rebuilt almost everything. We are rebuilding the Ark ship. I think it's going to be done like this turn, which just leaves a few other things. At least this gets me some money, so that might be something we do. But yeah, let's go ahead and hit end turn and see what happens. I don't think anything too crazy is going to go on, but things do fracture pretty drastically at this time. Flare Up of Descent, is that their capital? I don't remember. That's within the Clark clan. Yeah, it is the capital. Ark ship has been repaired, so extra wealth, less unrest, and I have more room in my house for people. Archon Phillips celebrated her coming of age, so there was a change over. I wonder if the previous Archon died then. Can I look at you now? Okay, you do have a decent enough view of me, but she might have died, or she might be out now because you have come of age. Nope, she transferred command. Okay, and stepped down as acting ruler of the Tanner Coalition. We might be able to do something there, but we definitely want to change our diplomatic stuff. Right now, I'm trying to improve relations with her. It doesn't automatically switch to the new leader. It's individual, so we'll have to change that. Kenyon Phillips has invited us to attend a feast. Absolutely, of course we're going to accept. So we have options. I can represent myself. It's kind of based on your more military stat, which there is a risk if I participate myself, but I'm going to. So we're going to fight Constable Sean O'Neill. So we should be able to defeat you. We've defeated him. There is some kind of randomness and stuff going on. There are dice rolls and things. Lisa Berger. Only 22. We just fight normally. She beat us somehow. I don't know how. We had 88. She's got 22. She's got a 52 security, so I think she rigged something. Duchess Snyder has won the tournament in honor of Archon Kenya Phillips' coronation. We didn't even perform admirably because we didn't defeat enough people. That's unfortunate. As Archon Phillips is crowned, she raises her voice. I hereby swear to serve and defend House Tanner, to uphold my responsibilities as ruler, and with my every effort to pursue our collective goals. Archon Phillips is swearing her house oaths as the crown settles on her head, while her fellow house members will be pleased. This is a curious breach of tradition. Why is that a breach of tradition? Maybe because no one said it to her and had her repeat it? I don't know. Weird. Feast was large success, and guests depart in good humor. So they got some fame. Flare Up of Descent over in Hees. The Blackwells, fine, don't care. Infrastructure on Zeta Ophiuchi has deteriorated to the point where it cannot sustain human habitation. So this does happen especially when there's fighting and raids and stuff. And if a system goes to this, I think there's actually one not too far from me, but it is somebody else's territory. If you rebuild it, you have control of it. So once it's damaged, but it does cost, I think it's like 240 credits or something. The remnants of House Conley have found refuge with House Conley on Sheat. This is inside the Conley Kingdom, which is part of the Villa or Via Guild. And he died. Okay. A person takes over. So I was not invited, although it seems like I feel like I should be, which is interesting. We don't have... I think I do have some distant relatives down here somewhere. So the Lins are attacking Avior, which is independent at the moment. They're probably going to be defeated. Yep. So much for that little distraction. And then he immediately gave them over to the Jordans. Interesting. If I could get the Jordans to flip, we could just eat the Lins pretty effectively, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. Where's your capital? Is it hidden? Yeah, I am working on increasing opinion here, so that's what this mark is. So we do have decent relations with him. Palmer Confederation has been conquered. Changes some obligation stuff, nothing too major. So he wants marriage between Mitch and Kelda Jordan. Okay, she will join us, so that's not too much of an issue. She's quite young to be marrying him. He's 41, she's only 17. Is she useful to me? Absolutely not. Her stats are terrible. But she is part of the Jordan family. So he won't accept allegiance in exchange, because it's probably like his niece or something. I don't know. Like, I'm fine with the marriage and having more close relations with the Jordans. I'm totally fine with that. But she's, like, her stats are awful. Her administration's the only thing that's even moderately okay. She's humble, kind, individualistic, and greedy. Weird combination of things. I think I'll accept, because I do want to get the Jordans to my side eventually. Had somebody get deposed there. And I don't necessarily want to ask for anything in return, so it might be like he owes us. She's actually sick. She might just die. Well, actually, that might be what the issue is. So she's... Okay, so she's not as terrible as she looks. Her stats are all halved currently. Okay. Yeah, well, we can do that. That's fine. As long as she joins us and our family, that's okay. I don't want him leaving my family. Baron Pineda has demanded that Duke Conan Pineda press Duff Pineda's claim to rule Yilden. Yilden is, I think, hidden by the boxes here. Not really something I need to worry about. He says no, it's fine. He rebelled, forming a separate group. So they're still under the Lins. It's just he broke away from the Jordans. But they're still both under the Lins. Nothing too major. Archon Conley's offering control of the Lindsay Confederation. What? Okay, so he's just offering this one little crappy system. If I accept, I'll owe him a favor. So the Lindsay Federation... Take a look at your system. Literally, there's only one thing here. Just the main settlement. Everything else has been destroyed. So it's a shitty system that they would probably like me to rebuild for them. but it's so bad that like they don't want to spend any resources on it. So I could accept it, and I'll owe him a debt, but I don't necessarily have to pay it back. Marriage between Conley and Zoe. So that's possibly accepted. I'm willing to take it, because I've got the money. I think I can put some money into it to build it up. This is one of the Conleys. This whole thing is the Villa Guild, though, so it's just sort of like they're a subsidiary. I'd rather marry into the villas if I was going to arrange a marriage kind of thing. I don't know that I care about a marriage necessarily, especially not to my grandson directly. And money isn't that big of an issue. Yeah, I'll just accept. That's fine. So apparently she's insulted the Lins, so that might be also why they were willing to just give it to me, so I can deal with that problem instead. Conley is attacking Beta Corvi, so they had another one that kind of went independent. Okay, they've been conquered. Archon Lindsay wants control of the Lindsay Confederation. Interesting. So we do have decent relations with you and the Lindsays. I don't know that I like you having something this close to me, but the star lanes are kind of weird. Is the leader... So she is a Lindsay. So they are part of the same family. I don't know exactly their relationship to each other. I can just ask for money. I can't ask for anything else. If I give it up, they owe me big time. She'll like me a ton. I'm kind of okay with that, actually. Because if I can maybe get the Lindsays, because they're sort of a small faction as well, if I could get any of these small factions to join us, we're in really good shape. So you know what? I'm just going to hand it right over to you. I did, like, my empire shrunk, kind of thing, moral consequences, a little bit less respect, but whatever. She also conquered Solano. Alright, so she's on an expansionist kick. Probably not willing to do anything for us. Alright, nephew has fully recovered. Excellent. So we're going to stop that assignment. You find out your nephew is attracted to you. Okay, that's just creepy. I mean, he's my nephew by marriage. Hey, Duchess Berger is offering allegiance. So there are, like, it is somewhat negative. Because we don't have a great claim. So you are part of the Arlanos. So it will tick off the Arlanos, but the Arlanos are not a strong faction. You have built up quite a bit of stuff. Looks like this is an old, like, prison ship system. That's kind of funny. Yeah, it's going to tick off the Arlanos, but I was looking at this as something I could grab anyway. But we are working on improving relations with the Arlanos anyway. I don't think it's going to hit it that much. And we've improved with the Lindsays a bunch. So you know what? I'm going to take it. Duchess Berger broke allegiance with the Arlano clan and has pledged the Berger colonies to the Scrooge sovereignty. So I think that's part of me directly. That's not even part of the Galloways. I could hand it off to the Galloways, or I could try to merge these two, but it would tick them off probably. Duchess Arlano is no longer responsible for avenging your crimes against Fola Jarvis. Interesting. I think that was because I threatened to get them to join in. Grazia Scrooge is pregnant. Distant relative, but you are into Crux, so yeah, I don't know how distant of a relative you are. She's 18. You're married to Timothy. Timothy is who? My great nephew. Okay, so you actually married in. All right, that's fine. I just forgot who you are. All right, Kel the Scrooge charged you with avenging Conan Pineda's crime, the disinheritance of executive Marie Jordan. So you just married in, and you're immediately going and telling me that I need to do something about your dad or uncle or something? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. It would just make her irritated, like if I don't do anything about it. Yeah, I don't care. Archon Phillips, charged with avenging Fola Jarvis's crime, the annexation of Arcab by the Galway Alliance. Um, she will expect me to punish her, but it's not severe enough to put me under any obligation, so I can just ignore it. It would just make her slightly more irritated with me, which isn't that big of a deal, I think. I'm just going to ignore that. You found out that Xaviera Blackwell put an experimental love serum in negotiator Enrico Blackwell's food. All right, so we're getting some more blackmail information up here, potentially we can do something with. All right, so a lot of crazy stuff happened there with the change of the turn. And we got control of a whole different group of things. Things have definitely changed in a weird way. So this is burger colonies. So we're still at 9 of 13. We've got plenty of vassal room still. We've got room for family. I'm much happier now, so there is that. Let's take a look. I'm already working on improving relations with you. So even with taking the burger colonies away from the Arlanos, they're like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. And here, I'm not working on improving relations with you. I'm still working on Sema, who has retired, basically. So we need to stop doing that. So before I do anything else, let's stop Sema. Knock it off. I'm going to redirect to start improving relations with them, but I might check and see if she's willing to potentially join up. I kind of doubt it. It's the same thing, May, except if threatened. Let's go improve relations. And I've got Kiyoshi here free. You're good enough. Go for it. Travel if you have to. So we just kind of swapped him from Sema over to the new leader. That's totally fine. Quite a few people who are free. We did finish that construction, so that's part of it. So my wife's free. So she raised taxes. I'm curious. The Lindsays. They have vassals. I can't do anything really. Yeah, she's not interested. She likes me, but not even that much, which is a bit surprising because I just gave her a system for nothing. I figured that would go up quite a lot. She's actually quite good at tech. So I did help out the Lindsays, but we are kind of eating what used to be part of the Tanner Coalition. There's not a lot left of the Tanner Coalition. If I could pick them up and the Arlanos, I would be super happy. Even if I could just get the core of the old Tanners, just these two. I think they've also got this. The Snyders are part of the Tanners. The Arlanos would also be a great pickup. We're just going to keep stockpiling cash and hope from there. So, Sheraton, this new system. Descent is going up, but not super crazy. Pleasure District is about all we could rebuild here if we really wanted to. So I know my wife is free, even though she's on the council. So we have our new person here who's sick. We could try to heal her up. I think we do that as a priority, just to see like how good she is when she's not actually coughing her lungs out constantly. And we'll have my daughter do that because she's super great at all tech and medical things. If she's not doing that, I'd have her be training our heir to just improve stats and stuff, which I might do with somebody else. So that leaves my wife, then Grazia and Kelda. So Grazia, you're just kind of okay. I have no idea. You must have... Did you just come of age? What happened? Why are you now free? You married in, and you're ill. Administration means you're better at, like, overseeing construction or rebuilding fleets or, you know, that kind of stuff. Levy to fine over there, levy to fine over there. People being ransomed. Coronation stuff. The Conleys deposed the Fields over there after taking over. Not a big surprise. But aren't you... Okay, it's now the Conley. This was the Fields kingdom at one point, or the Fields something, and now it's just the Conley kingdom. They've taken over all this previous stuff. Again, I'd like to potentially break off some people, but, you know, we've got a little bit of a border. Not a great border. They just joined for cash. So that's kind of one of the powers of having a bunch of money sitting around, which theoretically we should have. Like, we're really, really good at building up cash. But I'm kind of blowing it all on rebuilding stuff. Is there anything I want to rebuild in our home system? Quill Unrest for 3, extra wealth, running a spy network. The spy network isn't a big issue, but extra wealth is tempting. Sheraton looking pretty good. I don't think there's anything necessarily I want to rebuild for them. I could send somebody up to help with the unrest, though. Building a hospital, it wouldn't be a terrible thing out here. We could do that at Mirzam to just kind of help out. It is a bit pricey. Definitely would want to hold on to the system then, for sure. How's your fleet looking? We're not getting indication of being weak anywhere, necessarily. She's got 17 ships. I can get about 100 out here. You can only get about 25. So yeah, I think we're in quite good shape. I could probably conquer the Tanners, actually. I'm not getting indication of anyone being weak, necessarily. But it is their capital, so let's take a look. Yeah, I can get 99 ships here. You can get 33. I can get another 17, and 7, and 7, and 22. Yeah, if the Arlanos helped out, that could be a tiebreaker. But I could also buy mercenaries. But I don't really want to conquer the Tanners necessarily. We've been on good relations with them for my entire rule, so I kind of feel bad about doing that. Like, we ended up in a war with the farmers, and I kind of got them to join us when we had a fleet headed their way. I think what I'm going to do... Let's repair the hospital out here. I'm going to have my wife do it because she's really good at organizing that stuff. As far as where we're doing unrest... That's effectiveness. Can I see, like, how... So we're doing Arcab, Yilden. So Yilden's unrest is 42. Nair Al Saif, 41. So, I mean, it's not awful. Arcab, 63. That's pretty bad. So we could stop in Mirzam. That's down to 22. So let's have you stop doing that. And I'm going to have you switch over to Quelling Unrest out here on Sheraton. It's my brother-in-law, Chill, who was my rival at one point because he completely went psycho when he was on the council. Yeah, go ahead and travel. That's why he's not in charge of the military anymore, because he went nuts, became my rival, started threatening me, wanting to fight me, that kind of stuff, so I just replaced him with somebody else. Which is making my military a bit weaker, but I have someone who I actually trust in that position now, rather than someone who's went completely off the deep end. So we still have Grazia and Kelda. Kelda's not too useful at the moment because she's sick, and you, like, maybe I could send you off to run a spy network somewhere, but I don't know that that's really that useful. You're not a terrible diplomat either, so probably we send you off to improve relations with somebody. That would be my thought. Someone got deposed over here. We're already working on the head of the Jordans. We're working on the head of the Lins. We're now working on the Arlanos and the Tanners. I'm kind of running this, like, I feel like I want to conquer the Blackwells. They've been sort of causing some issues for me, but I don't really want to go to war with the Clarks. And the Clarks are actually distantly related to me. They're sort of the overseers. I could, at some point, if we're strong enough, push the claim. How's your fleet looking, by the way? You're up to 63 out of 90 ships. I mean, that's not awful. If we headed out to Aludra, she can get 94 ships here. He can get another 73. That's crazy. 160. We can get, like, 70. So yeah, going into here, not going to happen anytime soon to try to take anything militarily away from these guys. They've got, I don't know, they must have a massive fleet to be able to have that many ships that far away from their capital. Because the Clark's capital's up here. Like, I feel like I'm closer. It might be more jumps. It's like one, kind of, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away, but I can't get nearly as many ships. Yeah, it's weird about how you can deploy stuff and move things around. Anyway, I still have actions, so let's try to improve relations, but I don't really care about the Blackwells. The Clarks, theoretically, I could send somebody up there to help out, just with the Clark. Was quite good at one point. And if I've got money, I can always honor people with feasts, too. That's something I could definitely be throwing that around, gaining some fame and stuff. Let's try to improve relations, and then I'm going to send... Yeah, let's send Grazia to do that. And yeah, you can travel, that's fine. It should be relatively safe up there. You're even, like, distantly related to each other. You should be totally fine. So that just leaves Kelda, who... Yeah, I could rebuild something. Or improve fleets. Like, we're rebuilding fleets here. We're rebuilding a fleet out there. I think we're even doing it at Arcturus, which I'm not even sure we need to be doing anymore. Galloways, what's your fleet looking like? Not awful. Here's Zam's fleet. Looking for someone who's, like, got a big difference between what's available and what's not. We're fine. Actually, let's check. Okay, you love me. You just joined up. What's your view of me? You kind of like me. Yeah, your fleet's not bad either. 21 of 29. I mean, even though she's not good at it, I could send her out to just improve relations for a little bit to the new leader over here in Sheraton, I guess. Just to do something. even though she's not, like, good at it, and she's sick. But yeah, sure. Go ahead and travel if you have to. Okay, what do we have? We have an obligation to punish Conan Pineda for their crime against Kel the Scrooge. I don't really care. I'm not going to do that. I do have blackmail on somebody new. Xaviera Blackwell. Let's just kind of cycle through. I don't think I can do anything to Mort. Can I actually, like, demand anything? I can reveal the information. I could try to make a demand from her. What could I do? Have her assist the espionage team. That's it. Not really worth it. For Mort, though, who's the Duke, I can reveal that he injured someone in a brawl. That's not even that big a deal, really. Yeah, like, I can't really do much. He is liked, so we could tank his likability a little bit by revealing the information. I don't know that that's really worth it. I think we're just going to let that run. I've used most of my actions. We've got a couple left. Nothing too crazy. I can't really do anything with the actions I've got left for marriages. We'll let Zoe and Frederick get a little older before I look for good marriages for them. See what kind of craziness happens this time. Flare-up of dissent on the capital of the Tanners. Another one. Lady Foster's leading an uprising against his rule. Really? It's not going to work. Yep. Rebellion failed. Infrastructure at Avior is deteriorated to the point where it cannot sustain human habitation. Really? It's too bad that's not closer. I've got the money. Like, I'd be willing to rebuild a colony to get control of something. So they went back over there. While on routine patrol, squadron of Pineda ships has mutinied and disappeared. Archon Lynn has charged Archon Lindsay with avenging Ina Lindsay's crimes. Okay, so that whole issue that we kind of saw a little bit of a preview of is now the Lindsay Quadrant's issue, and I'm not involved. The Pinedas are attacking other Pinedas. Okay, interesting. Pineda Kingdoms failed. I don't know why you launched an attack. That's kind of bonkers. What just happened? What's going on? The Snyder Dominion. Something strange is going on. What? Tell me what's going on. The Tanners just absorbed the Snyders, it looks like. Okay. Mort Blackwell disinherited. He's already disinherited people who are related to him inside my territory. Admiral Olin Blackwell. Duke heir Thad Scrooge is now his heir. But he already disinherited Thad. That's super weird. You're back to Thad being your heir? Interesting. He is married to the heir, but what would happen would be that he would be in charge of the Blackwell Alliance. So even if, like, if I died, I would take over control of my heir, in charge of the Scrooge sovereignty, and her husband would be in charge of the Blackwell Alliance, but the Blackwell Alliance would be under the Clark clan. So it wouldn't actually give me direct control, but I could maybe change things. So no loss asking for permission to try for another child with your daughter. I think I already did give them... I think they have 4 kids, but they are getting a bit older, so I think it's unlikely. In this game, once you're into your even late 30s, it kind of seems like you're pretty unlikely to have kids. I'm, like, happy if you try. Go ahead. It's fine. Archon Lindsay ordered Ina Lindsay to step down and transfer rule of the Confederation to her. Well, I wish you'd stayed with me then, but I mean, I did give you away for nothing, basically. She has rebelled. She might even come to me now, asking me to take her in. Acting Baroness Jarvis wants support in the combat at Nair al-Saif. What are you guys doing? The defender is Da. You're attacking another baron. No. You're defending. So my baron is raiding Nair al-Saif. Why is this? Do not fight against your vassals. But I did agree to assist her. I don't know. I don't like my vassals messing with each other. I really don't appreciate that. Baron Castillo, what are you doing? He's just raiding for supplies and stuff, probably, which is something your vassals will do, which I really don't like. You're not really supposed to get involved in that kind of stuff, but it does irritate me when they do that. Both are related to me, which is another odd issue. So you're probably related to each other. I don't know what you're thinking, dude. Anyway, you are attacking with quite a few ships, honestly. It's neutral for me not to get involved, but it will irritate her a bit if I don't, probably. I'm not going to get involved. I don't appreciate the raids. Carried off some of its food and machinery. Might have even damaged a facility. Yep, she's immediately coming to me offering vassalage. Let me look at you just to see. Yeah, you don't like me very much now because I didn't come to your aid. Well, she's even willing to pay me to join. I don't know if you're worth the hassle, honestly. I did just hand you off to the Lindsays. So I definitely could expand that way. We're under vassal limit by 5, so that's not a huge issue. But if I don't take her, she's definitely going to join the Conley Kingdom down here. Could put me in conflict with the Lindsays. Not that I really want that, but it is what it is. I'll do it in exchange for some money, because I like money. She's become our vassal, alright. But if she starts demanding things from me, I'm going to be like, nope. Alright, my niece and Barry Farmer had another child, fine. Kelly Raymond and Terry Raymond have had a baby boy. So she's kind of a distant relative who just sort of showed up one day, and I kind of sent her off. We did marry you in, I think. Constantine is a fine name for a boy. Kind of run out of Christmas Carol names. Roxanne Scrooge and Kyoshi Scrooge have had a baby girl. Zaza is a very odd name. Roxanne is my great niece. You're just the dude who married her. I mean, if we want to stick with Z, I already have a Zoe, though. Let's do something just a bit more normal sounding. Duchess Tanner rebelled against Jesse Moore, formed the Tanner Confederation, pressing one of the villas to rule the Villa Guild. All right. Kelda's no longer ill. Yes, we'll stop the assignment. Her stats should be quite a bit better. You are dead. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's how quickly things go. Super, super fast changes going on when you get older, apparently. I was only like 55? 58. Even with the tech and stuff, you'd think we'd be a little bit better than that. That's unfortunate. So the end of an era, Ebenezer Scrooge has died. Your daughter inherited the Scrooge sovereignty. So there are some things that do pass on to us. Not too big of a deal by threatening, seek revenge, attempted murder. That was my relative, though, who did it. The gift of the Lindsay Confederation. Putting down rebellions, Yildiz and Izar, not really that big a deal. I'm not going to do that. Duchess Jarvis's crimes against you, I'm probably not going to do that either. Legitimate claim to De Crux and the Scrooge sovereignty, fine. Okay, that's going to change things a lot. You are now the legal head of House Scrooge. Stopped rebuilding the fleet at Parima, that's fine. Returned home. We are expected to hold a feast for your coronation. At least I do have some money. If we invite everybody, it's going to cost 65. Cost an additional 65. Why is it only saying 15, though, instead of 65? Yeah, hold the feast. Invite everyone expecting an invite. We'll probably just do that. We can pick and choose as well. Just invite everyone who's expecting to be invited. So she refused to come. That's interesting. You're just like a local duchess, right? Everybody else is fine. Wait, isn't that... Yeah, my first cousin. You're invited. Kenny Jackson, whatever. Wilbur Farmer, distant relative. Distant relative. I did, like, she is kind of mad, so maybe I'll invite her. And I am related to some of the farmers, including him, so you know what? I'll be nice. We got money. Let's just do that. That's it. The shuttle of a traveling theater troupe has just docked into Crux. Archon Michiko Scrooge, we heard that this is to be a gathering soon and happen to be passing. Performance adds a certain flair to a feast. Maybe perform for your guests. Give my guests a performance to remember for 30. Very well, but nothing extravagant. It's 15. Thespians are a waste of money. That's probably the correct answer, but we'll do something kind of basic because I already spent a bunch to invite everybody. Leader of the troupe lays a sheaf of scripts before you. Our most generous patron will, of course, select the drama that they most desire. The War of the Stars, Return of the Errant Knight, Tale of Redemption, A Saga at Midwinter, or The Conversion of a Miser, A Tale of Generosity. No. The Exdomorph, A Tale of Terror, Scheme of Sovereigns, Betrayal and Ruthlessness. A Frolic from Arthur's Companions as they seek the Goblet of God, A Tale of Absurdity and Humor. So King Arthur and the Holy Grail. I think, like, comedy's always good. Let's do that. Tournament's being held in honor of the coronation. Who would I like to represent? I don't think I'm very good. I mean, she's not bad, actually, militarily. 56. She's super good administrator at 95. We could pick somebody as a champion who is much more combat focused, but I don't seem to have Okay, Mitch is pretty good. Is Chill still alive? Chill should be here somewhere. Chill is not on my list. You know what? I'll have, I think, Thad. No, not Thad. Mitch. He's actually pretty good. He'll be my champion. We're going to fight Sasha Clark. Good luck with that. He actually defeated her. Commissioner Connor Berger should be able to beat him. Excellent. Your brother-in-law has been injured in the tournament honoring your coronation. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess he is actually my brother-in-law because I'm married to the other. I keep thinking he was the father, but I guess he is the son. So that we're now the next level down in the family. So brother-in-law, I don't really care. I would like him to die, honestly. Baron Air Mitch Scrooge will fight Commissioner Demita Lynn. Fight normally. Like, we can try to fight dirty and, kill someone. She actually defeated me. Gonna fight the Conley, Malik Conley. Or Mike Conley. She is incredibly good fighter. Defeated me, fine. So we didn't quite, like if we'd won one more fight, he would have gotten a little bit of fame. Not quite good enough, though. You've hired a troop of players to entertain your guests. The play is a frolic from Arthur and his companions as they seek the Goblet of God. It's confusing, but hilarious. Most impressive is the fight scene between Arthur's commissioner and the Dark Warrior. Somehow the actors create the illusion the limbs are hacked off one by one on stage. Once all her arms and legs are gone and she lies a bleeding stump, she utters the eternal line, "All right, we'll call it a draw." Applause rings out. Your guests will speak of this performance for many weeks. Intelligent conversations as stimulating as the blackest synth caffeine. You find yourself seated behind another, enraptured by their conversation. You discuss theocracy and civics, philosophy and folktales, military strategy and cosmopolitics. With such intelligent partners, conversation becomes an art form. That's actually my mom, so okay. The feast in honor of your coronation was largely a success, and the guests depart in fine humor. So definitely another turn that had a lot of craziness go on. I am miserable, which is not good. I just took over. I think it should, and we had a nice celebration. You'd think we wouldn't be in quite so bad of a space. Archon Conley gorged himself. I do need to kind of look at inheritance stuff. Chillard, a new tactic. Kelda's back to being fully healed up. Which reminds me, she probably... We look at the family. Kelda... A lot of people idle. So now that she's not sick... Yeah, her stats are a little better. Not fantastic, though. Lots of idle people. We probably want to make some changes to the council as well. So my husband is already on the council as our chief diplomat, because he's a super good diplomat, so we don't have to make any changes there. My sister is the head of research, technology, that kind of thing, because she's amazingly good at it, with 99 stat. My mom, super great administrator. Military is my only real weak position. Well, security is not great either. I don't know that I have anybody better in the family, but I'll take a look. My stats are not as good. And I do have some stuff. So I still have the guns I can give out. I could actually give one to myself, I think. So if I give myself a gun, I'm pretty sure I can do that. Right. She also, before she, like when she was not in charge, she stole a bunch of money from the family, which, yeah, not great. I could just give her a laser rifle. +5 to general opinion, +4 to military, +2 to security. I don't see why not, so have a laser rifle. You imagine the skirmishes you could fight with this fearsome weapon. We still have 1 left. Chill Screws raises the issue of your single remaining laser rifle. As an experienced commander, I feel I can make excellent use of the weapon. It's truly for the good of House Scrooge. Your uncle-in-law, he's not that much older than me. He still could be useful for a while. We might want to put him back in charge of the military. And this might be a good way to do that. Like, he'll like it if I give it to him. I don't know what his reputation... Okay, there. It just took a little while. Yeah, you know what? I'll go ahead and give it to you. +4 to opinion. Increase some stats. Let's do that. As you hand it over, you feel the envious eyes of your other house members. Some mom gets irritated. My first cousin and my sister all are like bummed out that I gave away the laser rifle, the last one. But that's fine. I might also... I've got this neural implant that I could give somebody. Maybe I'll pop that in you as well, especially if we're going to swap the guy in charge of the military. Because he's a 67. Chill is at 84. I don't know that I have anybody else in the family who's anywhere... Like, that's a decent improvement. I might want to look at security as well. '84 is quite good. Sister-in-law cameo is actually quite good at 75 too. A little bit younger in case we wanted to do that. That's an option, potentially, but I did just give the rifle to Chill. So the people who are idle, you are a fantastic diplomat. You're a decent diplomat. Decent diplomat, again. Mediocre security and diplomat. And you're an okay administrator, but that's about it. So we don't really have a lot of good military people. So what I think I'm going to do, I do have a lot of actions free, so that's fine. I think we swap... I need to look at my heirs too. Where is it? Replace as head of the military. He's not going to like it. But it's a pretty big improvement. Yeah, let's have Chill take over. He's not happy because I replaced him. Why did that end the guardianship? I don't know why that would end the guardianship. Maybe he's too mad at me, but his opinion's still good. He's not happy, but... Strange. So... Yeah, Jacob. Let's get you a guardian. I don't know why it took it away from him. First cousin's son. Maybe he's not high enough status, I guess, to be trusted with that. He was being trained militarily. He's friendly and greedy. Let's have my mom take over. If he's greedy, that means he's going to be good at administration. Okay, I need to look at inheritance issues. Line of succession. So the heir is Frederick Scrooge, who's 17. Oldest child, current law, oldest son. He is not great. That is true. So you're 17, 12, 9, and 1. And then my sister, potentially. So yeah, that's fine. I think we need to start training him because he's pretty awful. I am going to increase my stats because I do have a really high tech, so that does give me an increase to all of my different stats. So it's currently, what? 22% passive skill increase. So I am getting a little bit of a skill increase all the time. We did change, so we're still good on vassals. That didn't change anything, and we're still good on family members, so that didn't change either. I might throw the neural implant on chill. Like, that might be something I do. Boost military cost of social skills. Like, do I care if your social skills go down? Your social skills are terrible. So, let's install the neural implant on him as well. He doesn't like it. You want to sacrifice my mind? I wouldn't ask if it weren't important. Do it for House Scrooge. Hours later, he opens his eyes. How do you feel? The doctor says. Like something is taking over my mind. What have you done? So he now has the tactical implant plus 15 military. I was figuring they'd be like, hey, here are the potential negatives, and then it would change. You really don't like me now. And you're also ill. That's not great. I think I'm going to need to make sure that you're healthy. Medical attention, my sister. That might make him a little happier. If I knew that was going to tank his opinion of me that much and also make him sick, I wouldn't have done that. But provided he survives, he will be very effective. Just hopefully he doesn't become a problem like he was before. Right, you guys are Lindsay's. This colony really needs help. You've got the main settlement. Anything else? No, we probably want to like rebuild something down here because they are just screwed if we have the money. Grain silo is pretty cheap for 30. I might just do that. Pretty much anybody can go do that. Kelda would be pretty quick. Timothy. Yeah, Kelda, why don't you go do that? So everything's okay. I am miserable, so stats are decreased and stuff as a result. So I currently only am at 95, 60, 33, 19, 29 with some negatives because of that, but she's a fantastic administrator, so everything's good. I don't think we're in terrible shape. I do have people who are free who don't have assignments, which I do need to do. We're still doing all that stuff we were doing before. We're still doing the quells, spy networks. It looks like we pulled all of our diplomats off of what they were doing. Okay. So we can assign a couple people for diplomatic missions if we need to. I'm now a different leader as well, so even views inside my own territory might be different. So even my own vassals might be unhappy with me. So I might want to check that real quick and make sure we're not like super negative. I did have a nice coronation feast, so I think we're probably good on that front. I just want to check, especially people in charge of these larger other territories. Okay, so you're actually a little happier, although you're miserable. Good opinion. Alright, that's all positive. How about Barry? Barry's totally fine with this. Cousin, she's fine with it. Alright, so everything inside looks stable. I think the Tanners, so the Tanners definitely something happened over here. Unknown Baron has broken allegiance with the Clark clan and pledged Sirius to the Snyder Dominion. So they were part of the Clarks, and they broke away to join the Snyders, who were part of the Tanners. So it wasn't like directly to the Tanners. We do have something new creeping in. We get more vision kind of as things progress of the universe. Archon Clark is very ill. How are my relations with this idiot? Actually quite good, which is weird because I feel like we're sort of rivals in a way, in my mind. I might want to see, now that things have changed. Yeah, I can't even try. Well, I don't have the resources, but yeah, it's still a May, except if we threatened kind of thing for the Tanners. Out here. Yeah, opinions aren't terrible for me. May accept if we ask politely for vassalage. I just don't have the resources to do it. Interesting. We might have to look at that next turn if I remember. I just need more resources. So I think as a priority what I'm going to do... Then again, I mean, relationships aren't bad. I want to see if we have like a bad relationship with somebody. Is there a negative opinion out here for someone that actually matters? People seeking refuge. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Where's your capital here? Yeah, seems like we're actually pretty good on relationships, so nothing is terrible. So I am going to continue working on the Arlanos. Go ahead and head on out. Travel if you have to. And I'm going to work on the Tanners as well, I think. Just to start. That's all I can do for actions. Sure, send my husband back out there. That's fine. Okay, so I've run out of actions, just doing what I can to assign things, change stuff up. Hopefully Chill doesn't go crazy and try to kill me like he did to my dad. Improving relations, everything's fine. But yeah, potentially we can get the Arlanos to join. I'd ask them next turn, and then we'll see what happens. But I think that's going to do it for today. So a big change in the power structure with Ebenezer dying, and now having taken over. Things went fairly smoothly, actually. I'm a bit surprised. Nothing too crazy, because I was kind of getting her ready for the role. But her being 51, he only lived to be 58. So we have like probably 15 to 20 years of rule, and that's it. And then we've got to work on our heir, but also probably improve my stats a little bit. I think military could definitely be higher. I feel like our military's dropped a lot, although that should be better once he's not sick anymore. I think that will help. And when he's not miserable, like that makes a big difference. And when I'm not miserable. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. This has been more Star Dynasties. I've been Disturbing Puppet. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Until then, have a good one.